So here we are.
Here we are, Michael Bruce.
Again, we had such a great time doing a show all about him in our first little centurion of shows. We had to bring him back for another one.
I know.
They dug me up, and here I am.
Here he is,
done
in all his glory. In all his glory.
I actually had the Omicron. Is that
Omicron. Omicron?
Yeah, I had that cron thing.
Right. I had that too.
Did you?
Right on, Omicron Brothers.
And God, the fever was like.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then afterwards I felt like, I'm so weak, I can't hardly wipe my ass.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird one. But we digress.
Like that, but he's like that most of the time.
Oh.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
The veins coming in.
I know.
Good.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. It is. I got one over here, too. There's a matching set. So we're going to talk a little bit rapid fire. Rapid fire news is just rapid fire Michael Bruce.
Yeah.
So we just want to talk about Michael Bruce, what you've been doing since the last time we saw you.
Ooh, okay.
What plans you got for the future? You're going to go out on the road. You're going to make some records.
Better write this down.
Right. Let's write it down. I don't have anything to write it with. Don't write it on your arm.
That's my
So
what you been up to?
It's your hand. Yeah. So what you been up to?
What have I been up to? We laid low. Len and I just stayed home and didn't hang out.
Right.
Go to large concerts and whatnot.
Sure.
And then I kept working on music.
Nice.
And then let's see. The time I was out here, I think I'd just gotten out of the hospital. I had my knee replacement.
Was that before or after we met him?
Len!
Scott?
She here?
She's shopping.
After. It was after. Yeah, it was after the knee surgery. Yep.
And then I had some kidney stones,
Right,
and that was interesting.
That was fun.
I was driving down the freeway when the first one dropped. I was like,
Oh! No, thank you. Do you have a picture of that?
No, I don't.
Oh, damn it.
But I salvaged one that passed without notice in the toilet, but I don't know where I lost it in my wallet or something.
Ouch.
Maybe I thought it was Coke and crushed it up and stored it. But anyway, and then let's see. We started working on the Michael Bruce group,
Right?
Yep.
with some players, Matt Indies.
Yep.
here
Matt
local.
Indies, yep.
Matt and
Lynn's part of it, right?
Yeah, the bass player.
Yep.
And then we had a guy playing, was from Alcatraz.
Right.
It's Woody. No, not Woody. Jimmy Waldo.
Okay.
Where's Waldo?
Right on.
But because of COVID,
Right.
all of our best laid plans just went.
Right. Because when we did our show around you last year, was it last year?
It was last year.
We were Salt Mine, yeah. And that was you were in the middle of writing songs. You just released a couple of them for the new album.
So what happened is so then all of a sudden Alice decides he wants to do, instead of another album of his stuff,
Right.
he wants to get the group back together.
Nice.
So I was like, oh shit. So I told the guys, look, I'm going to take some of the material and see if they want to use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so far they've used, I think, one, maybe two songs.
Right on.
And so we're doing the Cooper reunion album. It's supposed to be out next year sometime.
Right on.
What label's he on now, Scott? The last Detroit Stories?
I don't like any of this stuff if you're not on it.
In case you didn't hear that,
Thank you.
Scott doesn't care unless Michael's on it.
It's that like record label that did Detroit Stories.
Right.
They're out of Germany, I think. They do real nice.
We can find out for you.
That's good.
Ooh, good stuff for him.
And so we rehearsed about a week ago
Nice.
over at the Solid Rock.
Okay.
And Alice was there, and we hammered out like 7 songs.
Right on.
So we're probably going to get together again and we'll finish the album up, and then we'll record it sometime probably before the end of the year.
Outstanding.
And then who knows, I'd love to do some shows with Alice like we did in the UK. We went on last for like half an hour, and
right on.
fans loved it.
That's just as a surprise. Oh, like so he plays his show,
he played his show,
and then you guys. That's cool.
It was just, nobody knew we
That's
were playing.
cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
The fans went nuts.
Nice.
That would be fun.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
What'd you find out?
What'd you find out, Scott? The label is Ear Music.
What is it?
Ear Music.
Okay.
Ear Music.
Ear music.
Ear Music. Ear.
right.
Ear Music.
Never heard of it.
So now, so we can expect a new album with Alice Cooper.
Yes.
Probably next 2023,
Yes.
right? And then hopefully you're going to go on the road.
Well,
Or just some shows.
Yes.
Couple of
Just some shows. And you'll call Dean and I so we can come backstage and do a live on location with you jamming.
Sure.
Okay, right on. And
I'll bring my air guitar.
Full access backstage pass.
That's cool. Right on.
Your wife.
Yeah, bring the wife.
You have that recorded,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Done.
Dude,
So-
that'd be so fun.
So now let's transition to our top 10 homage.
Yeah.
Right? So we do this every week. It's homage to David Letterman. But this week's show is all about Michael Bruce, his favorite top 10 albums of all time. So I'm going to hand him to
Alice
you.
Cooper album.
Right, well, you were on Alice Cooper, right. I'm sorry. The top 10 albums with Alice Cooper that he was on.
Yes.
And starting from 10 to 1. I'm going to hand them to you and you can explain what it is. We can hand it out.
Well,
What's
this
your
is
greatest hits?
this is greatest hits.
Right.
Obviously, it contains some of the songs that made us popular.
The greatest hits.
Yes.
Great.
School's over.
School's over.
I'm 18. Am I still 18?
Right, right.
Or she was 18 and I liked it.
But
Let's see. No More Mr. Nice Guy.
yeah.
Do you know there's a story
You're one
behind
of the
that?
writers for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had written that back, I think, after Killer,
Okay.
but it just didn't fit any of our, scary type
Right.
motifs. It's too pop,
Yeah.
And then Bob decided he's Billion Dollar Baby album was going that way, more of a pop
Yeah.
thing, and then they knocked on my door and I said, sure.
There you go. There you go.
That's cool. All right. So what's the next one we got?
Okay.
There's number 9.
Okay, if you ever get a chance, listen to this. It won't make much sense, but you've got to admire the sheer velocity of these guys that went in and wrote songs anywhere from a minute and a half to maybe 2 minutes, all the way to 7 minutes. And the story behind this is when we went to Frank Zappa's house, he said, I got a great idea for packaging for your album.
Yeah.
And we go, we're like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
really, Frank? We're like suspicious
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
He goes, yeah, we'll call the band Alice Cookies. And in a tin,
Oh, right on.
it'll have these hip pocket records that
Yeah.
you put in this little player you can buy in the back of a comic book.
Yeah.
And
They're little tiny records,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well, they're about
Yeah.
the size of a CD,
Yeah.
I guess they were.
Yeah.
And then there'll be like 12 of them in there, and we're going, Frank, if that was such a good idea, why don't you do that for the mothers?
Yeah. Yeah.
No way. First of all, if they wanted to play it on the radio, what would they do? I mean,
Yeah.
like
It wouldn't work.
a microphone up
Yeah.
to the hip pocket.
Right. Right.
So that was the downside, but we prevailed. And also, too, little known fact was, what's his name? God, Vice President. He was wanted to do the rating album rating.
Oh, Al Gore. Tipper Gore.
No. I was
No.
shit was he? Who was? It was it Nick? Who? Agnew, Spiro Agnew.
Oh, way back there.
So they, in response, Warner Brothers was being like responsible. So they put a sticker over this girl's animated crotch, and like, wow, that's so offensive.
Yeah, it is offensive. I didn't know it was a crotch until you pointed it out.
Well, you don't
I
see
didn't.
no pubes are showing. I mean, I assume it's a crotch.
No. Number 8.
Ooh, man. This must be from the used department. This album was the next attempt to make a statement musically. But the neat thing about this album, you're driving down Sunset going south towards the ocean, and as you came around the corner before you got to the whiskey, there was a billboard Warner Brothers paid for, and this was it looked like the Brett Girls, and it was us. And it was a very cool,
It's cool to be on a billboard.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we had a billboard, yeah. And
That's cool.
they offered to cut our hair, but we reneged. But
Yeah. No.
it's not a bad album. It's, David Briggs produced this, if you could call it that. His idea of producing was, well, if you weren't Neil Young, he'd come in and go, roll me one here. Okay, that's a take. Oh, David, we haven't started it. Oh, okay, never mind. Hey, okay, that's a take. He was wanted to get out of there in the worst way.
That's right. And number 7.
Oh God.
Number 7. Number 7.
This was almost there. Almost. Unfortunately, Shep said this is the one he could blame on him because he was out busy. There was a lawsuit between Frank Zappa's manager and Shep, and after 7 years, and Shep really should have won, but he went to the lawyers in New York and I want the file. You guys have been handling this, right? So opens it up. It's like 3 papers in a manila envelope.
Oh.
So Shep lost.
Yeah.
So he went out to L.A. and started handling Welch, Luther Vandross, Flying Burrito Brothers, other, lots of other people to fill in the gap in this financial loss.
There you go.
But the album is really good. I thought it was produced by Jack Douglas and Jack Richardson, who did the Guess Who. And but the box, unfortunately, usually you get 24 in a box, but this only fit 12, and then if you tried to put them on the racks, they didn't fit.
Right.
So the rack jobbers and just the record industry didn't like it.
Right. Killer. The
Killer.
next one.
This is the album that
That's the album I remember.
this is the album that got our Snake employed. Kachina was a gift to our drummer Neil. It was actually his snake. Yeah, some girl gave it to him down the floor. My parents won't let me keep this anymore. It bit little baby Joe. And so we took it to New York.
Not helping me with my fear of snakes there. Yeah, good, good.
Right.
So here's a I didn't say this, but on the new album, one of the songs we're working on has to do with, it's a very lethal snake. It kills you in like 7 seconds. There's a couple of them.
Wow.
But that's one of the songs. It's called that. And Alice is also opening up a
Snake shop?
Well, it's not a snake. Not a snake shop. It's what was it?
Petting zoo?
Petting zoo. No, it was. Never mind. I forgot. The moment was lost. No, it was an after-school thing where you could go and learn, snake handling. Snake charming school.
Oh,
That's
right on.
So you could dance like a stripper when you're like 9 years old.
There you go.
Your parents will love it.
This is number 5 in the top 10 records.
Wait, I'm signing you up for that class.
Right.
This was a lot of fun. This album.
Somebody just threw panties on the stage.
No, that's not what these are.
What?
This is food handlers. Taco Bell? Ooh. What's that? So School's Out. It was a great album. It just really clicked. It was one of those things that fell together, and somebody else was asking me. Yeah, somebody asking me, like, well, did you set out to write an album about school? No, we didn't. But Neil had this song. It was called Alma Mater, and it's Rain is Falling, and it's about high school. You know. And actually, a long time ago, on the Love It to Death album, when I was working on the music that became 18, it used to be My Only High School Queen.
Right on.
It was about school. Yeah. And that's the one thing I think most people have in common. That's no common denominator. So it made it very, very interesting, and it paved the way for AC/DC and all those other schoolboys in
number 4
in disguise.
Right.
This album got nominated for album cover award.
Oh, right on.
This one in School's Out. We didn't win. Right. But we were nominated.
Right on.
And it was a great record. I remember we were all sick as dogs when we were in the UK, so we went to the Canary Islands. Thank God we weren't on that 747 that hit it. It was like
that would have been a bad day.
Oh yeah, really. It was a major airline. The 747 ran into, I think, a DC-3 on Canary Islands, so foggy. And the guy's out there with a flashlight. Didn't you see my beam? Anyway, it's a great album. When we went to the Canary Islands, they said, we got a perfect place for you guys to rehearse. Yeah. It's a hotel. It's not finished yet. Right. Oh. So what was interesting is they had people coming in applying for jobs, even some attractive women.
While you were jamming?
Well, no, we were stalking.
Oh, okay.
We were jamming later.
Oh, gotcha.
But what we didn't figure, we thought we had it all figured out. At 6 o'clock in the morning, pound that nail in there. They're building the place, and we're going. Okay.
That's a rude wake-up call.
We had to fire a road manager.
Yeah.
And anyway, so we actually recorded a song that we wrote. It was
Nice.
da-da-da-da-da. What's it called? Oh, I can look at the liner notes.
Yeah.
What is it? Rats and battalions. These $1 billion babies. God, can you help me? Where's the song list in there?
Flip it over. Let's see what's there. Nope, there's no song list in there.
Oh, this one?
Does it open up?
No.
That's the
$1 billion bill.
This is about as valuable as our currency now. Again.
I'll put it back together.
Well, all the songs on the back, but Generation Landslide, that's it. And
Landslide. All right.
yeah, it was great. It turned out Alice played harmonica on it, and it was really cool. We went in and had a great time.
Right on. Number 3.
Battle Axe, another tragic story in rock and roll. So this album was Alice decided to go on the road by himself, and he didn't need the band, so we started working on this album because we had an idea for the stage show. We were bringing already on his way on this one, and it's myself and Neil and Dennis from the original band, and Mike Marconi and Bob Dolan, who played Bob Dolan played on the $1 Billion Babies tour with Mick Mashburn, and Mike Marconi. The Battle Axe Trilogy, we used to have out from under the stage rolled hydraulics to a song on an album called produced by the NFL. It's called Nights in Cracked Leather. And it was like Cleopatra coming into Rome, you know, and it rolls out, and then the sides come up, and it's a boxing ring, right? Okay. So they started on this song, and then Michael and I get in the ring, the other guitar player. Sure. And we're
battling.
We're battling with guitars that have wireless transmitters. So you hear and behind us, scoreboard, and whoever got the best 2 out of 3 falls. I did one of these.
The crowd.
So I had the Battle Axe that what's his name from Kiss with the tongue.
Gene Simmons.
Gene the Tongue Simmons. They were every time they would watch for stuff that we wouldn't capitalize on. They were great on that. Anyway, so he came out. We had a plexiglass guitar with a bayonet on the end. Okay. And so after I knocked him down the second time, please don't kill me, and I stuck it in the stage, and there's a piece of balsa wood, and then. And confetti coming down.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it cost us over $100,000. We did 4 shows with it. And then we went home to take a nap and cry. What happened was our precious producer, Lee DiCarlo, decided, you know what? I'm going to snort a ton of coke this morning and go in and master this album. And I guess when you do a ton of coke, your high end goes away, or your low end, one of them. And so he kept more highs or lows. And so the U-shaped groove ends up like this, and as a live passage comes on a vinyl record, it just threw the stylus right off the record. So we started getting records back. So we, in an emergency attempt to stick our finger in the dike and stop the flooding, we remixed the album with Jack Douglas and Jack Richardson and what's his name, Sid Bernstein. Went in and tried to negotiate another album with Polydor Records, but Polydor Records was phasing out their rock stars. They were going into disco queens. You know, that's when it was all happening.
Wow, that's too bad.
And
that was gonna last.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway.
So
Anyway,
we did 4 gigs.
Right. And
All
you're
right.
done.
So
4 gigs and you're done. Right.
I'm done.
4 gigs and you were done. Because it cost you $100 grand.
Well, yeah, we did 2 warm-up gigs at
Right.
a couple of schools in Michigan.
Yeah.
And then we did, actually, one gig was really great. We played, we headlined in UFO open for us in Chicago at that, I don't know, it's a theater. It's an old theater. It's got clouds that go over the top.
Oh, right on.
And
Soldier Field.
fake
It has clouds over Soldier Field.
No,
Yes.
I mean, they're real clouds.
It's a
Real clouds.
Oh, God, yeah, gotcha.
All right.
Holy Sarge.
Right.
Anyway, so that was a good show. But then we played it at the Pontiac Astrodome, and they had every band that lived. I don't know why we were supposed to go on in the evening, but so it's like 3 o'clock and we still haven't gone on. And there's like, anybody out there? So it was a disaster, but it was only fitting because the whole thing was a disaster. But
Gotcha.
it was great fun.
Yeah. Okay, so number 2 on your top 10.
Number 2, yes, Love It to Death. This is the 3rd album that we did. Is that thing actually rolling still?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're out of film.
You sure? Put any film? He's cleaning the lens. Yeah, it's still working.
Still going.
Love It to Death was amazing because a lot of it was just stuff we were doing on the road. And for instance, like I'm 18, Alice wrote the first version of the lyrics, and but we all said, Alice, you can do better than that.
Yeah.
Although we didn't know that, we were just saying that to make him feel good. So he goes back and he writes another version, and it was definitely improved.
Yeah.
And so we said, hey, 3rd time's a charm.
Right.
Come on, try it again. And he Shep immediately, because we had Bob Ezra
Yeah.
was from Toronto, a Canadian.
Yeah.
He got what they called because there was a Canadian involved, they would play it on Canadian radio.
Oh, right on.
So CKLW started playing it. Shep immediately had a phone put in at the farm, and all of a sudden we were, hi, this is Lynn. I'm 18.
Yeah.
Hi, I want to hear that Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
$1,000 phone bill.
Oh, wow.
We had everybody, if you came over to our house, get on the phone.
Right on. That's smart.
And it worked, and it broke the record, and
Nice.
later on we were driving down the road somewhere, and we heard it, and we all got out of the car, like, is this really happening? Pinch me.
Right on. That's awesome.
That is so cool.
Now, so the number 1 album of your favorite, it's got to be the one that is
It's coming up.
It's
It's
coming
coming
up.
up, right?
The reunion.
Yeah.
Reunion album.
Well, I hope it is. Let's put it this way. When we get together to write, there's a lot of this going on.
Sure.
Instead of using musical terminology,
Okay.
for instance, some players will go, well, we need to do this, and then it needs to have this in it, and then this,
Right.
Like. So I hired an interpreter, but it didn't do any good. He said, I don't know what the hell these guys are talking about. But anyway, we did our first rehearsal over at Solid Rock at Cooper's in Mesa, Alice's place in Mesa. And then he might come back before Neil leaves in April, and we'll do some more writing.
Right on.
And it's going to be, Alice wanted to have a guest guitar player on each one, since we don't have our guitar player, Glenn.
Gotcha.
And although Robbie Krieger from the Doors, he said he'd do it. I'd love to have him do it.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
so Bob didn't really care for that, because he wanted this to be all about the band players.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I mean, after all these albums, why
Sure.
not? You know? So I don't know if that stands. Then we'll be calling up. Oh man, can you find some good talent?
Right.
But it's off to a good start. We after not having really worked together writing songs for a long time, we gelled, and
That's good.
we were rocking.
That's very good. So more information about you, they can go on Facebook, Michel Bruce Group, right?
Michael, Lynn, your dinner's getting cold. Get in here.
I think it's the Michel Bruce. What else? Stand up.
Hey, honey, do we have a website still? No comment.
Oh, she left you here.
Huh?
She left you here.
Oh, she left?
The Michael Bruce group fan club
Oh,
There you
on
go.
Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yep.
And so
Yep.
you can find out more about
Michael.
the album. You can find
Well, you can find more about Michael
and Michael.
because this is all about Michael.
And I might,
All about
I might
things.
divulge some secrets.
Yeah, he'll divulge some secrets.
Bob made us swear that we wouldn't tell anybody about anything, but
We won't tell anybody. We won't tell anybody you told us anything. Mom's the word.
We know nothing.
Unless this goes out and then all of a sudden it's published, but we didn't know anything about it.
we know
We
nothing.
won't say a thing.
Nothing.
We won't say a thing. No, because you said it all. Right? So
I'm guilty.
I'm guilty. So he's Dean Naughton.
I'm Dean Naughton. This is Michael Bruce.
This is Michael Bruce, the legendary rock and roll Hall of Famer, one of the original founding members of the Alice Cooper Group, who's coming soon to a record store near you. Asylum Records, for sure.
You'd be crazy not to buy from Asylum.
Right? Asylum Records. Located almost School and Elliott in Chandler. I'm Chris Dunham. Until next time, see you.
Rock on.